How's it going? Look how far back I am. Look how comfortable I am.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Yo, what's happening? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well. I'm a little bit further back than usual, and it's because I've got a couple of new pieces of kit, right? Firstly, I've got a new Elgato microphone arm thing. It goes all over the gaff, but it means you haven't got this friggin' thing, well, what's supposed to be this side, over the screen and me having to be close. I can like move back and chill a little bit. So, I mean, I haven't necessarily completely optimized it, but I think I can speak more clearly, directly, and pronounced into the microphone, and yeah, the shot should be better, bro. But not only that, I've got an Elgato Stream Deck, which you can't see, is off camera, of course. So I should be able to move around easier when I'm like going to different, like, you know, windows, like if we're browsing, looking at X value down here. Of course, there's nothing set up at the moment. Regular, or if I want to go. That's right, I've set up a sort of dramatic crash zoom for, you know, things like, and then Osimhen went on loan to Galatasaray. Huh. You know. In the meantime, please do consider liking and subscribing. Of course, this season here on the channel, we have got the target of 200,000 subscribers here on the channel. By the way, I haven't got a spot on my head. I think I've been bitten. I've been at my allotment cutting down stuff, and I think I've been bitten. It's really sore. Either that or the sniper's going to get me. Yes! What are we talking about? Yeah, subscribe, please. Thank you for doing that. Love you very much. Let's get into it. I love this Elgato thing, man. So nice. Don't have to touch the mouse. Although I will now, because we're going to talk about some Chelsea news. Right, we are going to speak about the Victor Osimhen clause. Of course, he went on loan. He sacked his freaking his agent, by the way. Who saw that coming? So we're going to get into Victor Osimhen stuff here. But there is some more Chelsea news. We've banked £6 million profit on Angelo Gabriel. Of course, he spent one season at Chelsea. Chelsea have confirmed the sale of Angelo Gabriel to Saudi Arabian side Al Nassr. Of course, we spoke about that yesterday, I believe. The teenage Brazilian winger has left Stamford Bridge after only one season to join the likes of Sadio Mane and, of course, Ronaldo at the Saudi Pro League club. Yeah, so we made like £6 million. I thought it was a little bit more than that. He obviously was on loan to Strasbourg last season. That is good business. It's significant business. If you keep buying youngsters for like, you know, 13 million and then selling them for 20 million, then a year later, that is good business. Obviously, the most sort of greatest success with a young player being bought and sold recently will be Amari Hutchinson, who we bought for like peanuts and sold for Ipswich's record transfer fee by some significant difference, but by a significant difference? A significant difference level? I can't speak English. By a significant amount. Whatever. It's by far their highest transfer fee they've ever spent. So that is the biggest example of Chelsea doing good business, like in terms of selling players, buying and selling players. Yes, we all hope, and by all accounts this will be the case, that we will stop constantly just buying thousands of players. The first team squad should settle. The players on big wages, like flat rates, like Lukaku, Kepa, Sterling. Obviously Lukaku's been resolved now. Sterling is still on the books, but once they're all fully out and the players that are in are on low basic wages, Joao Felix on a low basic wage, Cole Palmer, Noni Madueke, friggin' everyone, Pedro Neto, Jadon Sancho, who was on silly flat rate at Man United, has probably halved his flat rate, as in like the base rate at Chelsea. So they'll sort of sort out these players, by the way, versatile players. Neto can play on both sides. Sancho can play on both sides. You know, Joao can play in different positions. So can Nkunku. Cole Palmer can play in a couple of different. They'll get this core squad of players where they just won't need to keep adding because they'll have the versatility. They won't be massive burdens wage-wise. And yeah, but there will be a continuation of use at sort of Angelo Gabriel's, Amari Hutchinson's. You kind of almost say Amari Kellyman that we bought recently as well. These are the kind of players that we will probably flip for a profit. Easy for me to say. Maybe even Carney Chukwuemeka, who's going to be included in the Chelsea first team squad, but you do wonder. and Cesare Cassidy, who's also been included in the first team squad. They will keep buying portfolio players to make money. Of course, many of you may have seen this story going around, how Chelsea are nearly at a £0 net spend after the sale of Angelo Gabriel. I think we were like on 20 million net spend, something very, very little, after spending over 200 million. So the sales have been so profound that they believe they can get to zero. And if they were okay for financial fair play last financial year, and you're on zero net spend, then you're surely going to meet the requirements again. But yes, there will still be sales. So yeah, there you go. Alright then, let's talk about other stuff. Quickly, Malo Gusto withdraws from the France under-21s squad, writes George Flood on the Standard. Of course, we saw him go off with that injury, of course. He's withdrawn from the France under-21. He started for Chelsea in our 1-1 draws. 1-1 draw against London rivals Crystal Palace in the Premier League on Sunday. He played 74 minutes, of course, came off with what looks like a hamstring injury. With Malo, we will see what happens. It looks like a muscle problem, so we will see, said the Chelsea manager. No further updates as of yet, but because we've got 2 weeks before the next Chelsea game, and he'll be training back at Cobham, as will Chelsea captain and right back Reece James. So hopefully between both of them, we can get a couple of working hamstrings for the return game after the international break. Didn't look that serious. He walked around afterwards. Let's hope it's not serious. Right then, it's time for Victor Osimhen. Firstly, apparently, he has sacked his agent. And this is from an Italian guy, correspondent from TMW. Victor Osimhen has parted ways with agent Roberto Calanda after failing to secure a move to either Al Ahly or Chelsea. Did he really want to go to Saudi, though? Did he? I mean, it does seem like he likes money, so possibly. The Nigerian striker personally negotiated his... Whoa! He personally negotiated his loan move to Galatasaray with the help of intermediary George Gardi. So he's completely sacked off his agent. To be fair, from the outside, his agent just wasn't helpful at all. He was saying, like, no loan, no loan, no loan. This guy, he can't be loaned. And then Osimhen goes and negotiates his own loan. I don't know, man. I mean, a lot of these agents seem like dummies, but who knows? Do you know, you could be a football agent with, like, just this really basic qualification that possibly you can even pay for. So you, rather than needing to be qualified, so maybe you just buy this accreditation. I have to double check. But this would make sense because so many footballers, high-profile footballers, they just make their, like, dads or brothers or mates their agents. Like Harry Kane and his brother, and Callum Hudson-Odoi's brother, and stuff like that. And just is basically a way to bring in an immediate member of your family millions of pounds in your when you get transferred to another club. So I kind of like from that sense, like I kind of respect it. I'm just gonna pause while I sip coffee. Right, did I unpause? It did. This Stream Deck is an absolute game changer, man. Yeah, so whatever, he's left his agent. So he's moved to Galatasaray. We, of course, reacted to it yesterday. Like, I sort of was a little bit stressed by it. You know, because I would have liked him, but I don't think it's the end of the world. And I especially wouldn't want Chelsea to be bent over. Look, just quickly before we read this article from Alex Young on the Standard about this Chelsea release clause. A lot of people's position is, oh, you want elite players, you got to pay the money. You just got to pay the money. This is Chelsea. We want to be good again. You got to pay good money for the good players. Yeah, it's fine sometimes, but we've paid such good money and good wages for flops, bro, and more than not lately, right? Okay, so it's not like that pitch doesn't hold enough weight, especially in the sense of it's not worth it upsetting your whole dressing room because, like I said, high profile players, bro. And, you know, you granted Jackson and Palmer, they're really productive, but they're not high profile when we signed them. But certainly, Pedro Neto, of course he's come from Wolves, but he could have had the pick of Liverpool and Man City. With, you know, Liverpool were reportedly in for him. They would have just paid him more than we did, you know. But we got the deal over quickly. There was talks about Man City and stuff. Like, he could have had better wages elsewhere from Chelsea. But he's not that high profile. But certainly, I know they're distressed assets or depreciated assets, but they are still, Jadon Sancho and Joao Felix are massive names, you know, that have been paid huge amounts of money. Joao Felix and, to be honest, Jadon Sancho, both when they were like 19, they were like respectively, maybe the hottest available prospects as like attacking forward on the market at the time. That's what they represented. Hence skiing like massive money moves and massive wages. They've all agreed, all of them together, to basically get paid a really low basic wage at Chelsea. And if they do well together as a team, if they build Chelsea into something great, they'll all earn more money. They're in it together. Do you know what I mean? And because you've convinced these big names to do this, right? To you know, even if we've been like a sort of fortunate of circumstance, you know, like Joao Felix, Barca can't pay anyone, and he didn't want to go back to Atletico. Jadon Sancho wanted to do anything to get out of Man United. So maybe, yeah, I get it. We might have been fortunate in many ways, but still, these are high-profile, talented players that have the best years in front of them. They have all agreed to lower their wages to fit into this developmental project at Chelsea. Do you really want to roll the dice on another big name, give them like twice the amount of money as a basic rate, upset everyone, then they flop and you got another Lukaku? I'm not saying Osimhen's Lukaku. I'm just saying the risk is not worth the risk, in my opinion. That's what I think. But maybe we are willing to pay him that money. Alright, so we're going to talk about it then. This clause. So he went to Galatasaray, Victor Osimhen. And we're going to read an article on the Standard. Victor Osimhen inserts Chelsea and Arsenal clause into Galatasaray loan deal. I bet he puts some, like, to be honest, like, I know he's meant to be a Chelsea fan, but, you know, like, Arsenal are good, bro. They are a good team. The Emirates is a great stadium. I obviously hate saying this as a Chelsea fan. I do hope we get... I love Stamford Bridge. Been loads of times. I love it. Great place to be. But I do hope we have an increased capacity to... And maybe designed a bit better to... You know the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? I haven't actually been there, but I know it's meant to be designed to create a better atmosphere, like the literal acoustics and build of it. I hope we do all that kind of stuff with a new Stamford Bridge, because the atmosphere needs to be better there. Do you know what I mean? But Arsenal, the Emirates, last 2 years, the atmosphere has looked amazing. And by the way, it hasn't been prior to that. Of course, they've got a good feeling there. As Raheem Sterling, obviously, he's gone there. He's like... He hasn't got an allegiance to Chelsea. He doesn't need to. Just so he wouldn't have anything against Arsenal. He's been kicked out of Chelsea. He wasn't allowed to play. And he said, like, yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm buzzing to be playing at the Emirates. It's a carpet. What a great pitch. What a great stadium. And he didn't... What a great team. Look, we can be excited. Look, I would rather the Chelsea squad than the Arsenal squad, hands down. Maybe that's blue tinted goggles and bias, but I think we've got just insane amounts of talent. You know, I've got an affinity to the players, but Arsenal are a better team than Chelsea right now. No one can deny that. Look at the league table the last couple of years. So Sterling is he's not, you know, poor Sterling. He's gone to Arsenal as a non-Chelsea fan. You know, again. Osimhen, he will go to Arsenal if it's there for him, trust me. Chelsea failed to sign Victor Osimhen on deadline day, but have been given fresh hope of signing of a January move, after a request from the striker. Just going to sip my coffee. Done. Yeah, so it was his request in this move. Right? Osimhen was the top target for the Blues in the final days of the summer transfer window, but we were unable to agree terms with the player on a move. By the way, reports suggest since deadline day that we made 7 presentations to him to find a way to structure so he could get more money and to find a way. But yeah, Chelsea were always trying to be opportunistic rather than we need this guy. So. You know, that's the reports, that's the briefings, at least. As the transfer deadline day for Europe's top league passed without Osimhen finding a new club, the striker faced months in exile at Napoli after being stripped of a squad place. Yeah, he wasn't registered for the league. Galatasaray came calling, and Osimhen quickly agreed to the surprise switch on two conditions. What were those conditions, Jan? Well, I'll tell you. According to Sky Sport Italia, God, I remember Sky Sport Italia. Romelu Lukaku interview, good times. Osimhen has now a lower release clause in his Napoli contract, so it's down from 130 million euros to 75 million euros, which is 63 million pounds. 63 million pounds for Victor, 26-year-old, maybe Victor Osimhen. I mean, if you believe he's still the player in there that he can be, 63 million quid for Victor Osimhen. Say that a year ago, like last summer. Like, oh, next year there'll be a new clause in his contract for 63 million quid. You'd be like, what? Did he lose a leg? Yeah. Napoli can also extend the striker's contract to 2027 should he not be sold next summer. I guess, okay, because he's got a release clause, then why are they extending? I suppose just as maybe a free transfer creeps closer and closer, they just secure themselves as having him as an asset, I guess. Osimhen also requested a January break clause, of course, the winter transfer window, in the season-long loan move to Turkey should a big European club come in for him. Can I just say, right, imagine, like, you're a Galatasaray fan. And by the way, Mauro Icardi, Michy Batshuayi, Mertens who can play down the middle. Chill out, guys. You love strikers. Do you know what I mean? But imagine, like, he's calm, he's scored a few goals. You're like, yeah, Osimhen. And he's like, yeah, I love you guys. Kissing the Galatasaray badge, you know, Turkish fans, mental, super partisan fan base, ultras. And then, like, say Chelsea or Arsenal come knocking. See you later, guys. I mean, they know he's just there on loan. There'll probably be a few fans that are thinking, like, oh, maybe he'll fall in love with us inside and whatever. You just back yourself as a fan base or a club to do that. They'll just absolutely dip anyone else. If the sexier girl comes along, he just ditches the girlfriend. Damn. Oh yeah. Turkish outlet A-Spor reported that the break clause can only be triggered by 10 clubs. That's still quite a lot of clubs, isn't it? Still quite a lot of clubs. Galatasaray will not be able to buy Osimhen during his loan spell, but they are paying his full salary. But there's no loan fee, as far as I understand, and that's why I was a bit like fuming yesterday, because like we would have paid his full salary if there was no loan fee, especially for a season-long loan, and then we'd have to renegotiate when and if he signs a contract. Anyway, Turkish reporter Kagan Dursan claims that the number of the clubs is 8 and not 10. Okay, that Osimhen wrote the names desired teams on paper, with Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Bayern Munich all included. Football Italia speculate Real Madrid and PSG would also be on the list. Yeah, I bet Real Madrid's on there. It's like a kid playing FIFA. Like, you know, what teams are you going to play on kickoff? Well, I'm only going to play this. Interesting he didn't play Barca. He didn't write Barca on his little bit of paper there, purely because he knows he won't get paid. Alright, how do we feel? I mean, look, there's all kinds of reports and people suggesting that a comeback in January that we would pay us full wages. I'm not sure I'm not sure I'd want us to for the whole reason I've said. But if we do and he turns up, yeah, you can't not be excited about Victor Osimhen, can you? Because it's high profile stuff. We created 5 big chances against Palace, didn't score them. Although I back us to score more with the same amount of players. I mean, we massively overperformed on our XG against Wolves, massively underperformed against Palace. You think that will just even out eventually, but it can't hurt to stick a proper number 9 in there. But let's back Jackson. He's doing well. So let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, comment, share, and all that sweet supportive stuff that you man do. As always, thank you for joining me, and I do hope to see you back here very soon on Football Therapy. Bye.